Hello again, it's Claire. And if you've listened to the last 2 Hopelet episodes, then you'll know we're putting out something on our podcast feed every day between Christmas and New Year's Eve based on hope. And if you're following our social media imagery of this series, you'll see that out of the 5 lessons mapped out on our fingers, we've reached the middle finger. Now, of course, you all know what the middle finger is famous for. That's right, it's the tallest finger. However, I do want to take a moment to just tell you what Wikipedia says about the gesture of giving someone the middle finger, which, let's be honest, is what you thought about first. The gesture actually dates back to ancient Greece historically. It represented the phallus, and in early 1800s it gained increasing recognition as a sign of disrespect. The index finger and ring finger, besides the middle finger, in more contemporary periods have been likened to represent the testes. There you go, you're basically showing someone the shape of a penis with your fingers. Doesn't sound quite so threatening now, does it? I also bet you weren't expecting to hear any of those words in today's episode. Anywho, back to hope. This tallest finger is today representing those with hopes held high. You guys have really high hopes and you're striving for the sky with them. To have high hopes means that you are confident something will happen. This can be seen as a good thing, but it's also something to be cautious of. Not that I want to burst any of your bubbles or anything, but if we put everything on the line for our high hopes in something, and it doesn't happen, it can not only destroy us, but also our future ability to hope in the right things. Benjamin Disraeli said, "I am prepared for the worst, but hope for the best." For example, when facing infertility, you can hope that you'll have children one day like we did. That's only natural. But if you put all your high hopes in believing it will happen, and nothing else is good enough, then if it doesn't happen, it destroys you, possibly your marriage, and those high hopes weren't exactly helpful. So it strikes me that you need to have your hopes in the right things or the right person. To have high hopes a purple unicorn will grace your kitchen for lunch tomorrow is probably misplaced, and will send you back to the second episode on hope I put out. For a number of reasons, but if you can't work those out right now, then you probably need more help than I can offer you. Or maybe someone else has had high hopes placed on you, and that's a lot of pressure to take. It's not a nice feeling. It turns it into pressure to perform and to deliver. High hopes are great when they're in something solid you can depend on, in something that never changes and is fully reliable. I have to admit I've been scratching my head to find anything on this planet that you can do that with. If you search the internet with the question, what should we place our hope in? You are met with faith, because placing your hope in God is the only thing many people have found to be the solid foundation they were after. And we've found this hidden away in many of our podcast interviews. Faith gets people through hard times because it's something bigger than them and their grief, a solid base to trust in or collapse onto. Isaiah 40 in the Bible says, "But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint." Doesn't that sound like something we'd all love? I know if I watch an eagle soaring, that feeling looks like something I want a piece of. So today, if you have high hopes in something or someone, I want to encourage you to look at what you're placing them in, and what might happen if they aren't fulfilled in the way you want. Hope in the right thing is beautiful. High hopes in the right thing is inspiring, but any hope in the wrong thing is dangerous. Václav Havel said, "Hope is definitely not the same thing as optimism. It is not the conviction that something will turn out well, but the certainty that something makes sense regardless of how it turns out."